What's going on? Welcome back to Trending Stocks. Today when I talk to you about SoFi. Pretty successful day. I want to go over some of the current data points, what shorts did, and everything else you need to know. But first, make sure to hit that thumbs up and subscribe. And with that, let's get right to it. So SoFi did go up 1.09%, a fair amount of volume. So 55.8 million shares were traded, 56.1 is the average. So you did see a continuation of buying from institutions. And so these are some of the transactions that did occur on the secondary market above $100,000, majority of which are buys based on the bid, the ask, and the selling price. So you do see some pretty big ones. So 9.92 million, several $1 million transactions. First thing, 6.74. So big money is buying SoFi still. And plus the latest round of 13Fs did come out. So you do see good old 𝗪𝗧𝗪, so ARK F, so that's the ARK FinTech Innovation ETF, did increase their position 99.35%. And so technically that doesn't encumber a lot of the buying that's been happening over the last several weeks. So I think bigger and better things are going to be coming down the pipeline. So the next update from 𝗪𝗧𝗪 is going to be probably 10 times that. That's going to be absolutely amazing. But aside from that, you do see a lot of other ETFs and institutions increasing their positions, with the exception of this one right here. So that's Kingdom Capital. They do have 300,000 in puts. So again, you can't win them all. But aside from that though, speaking on puts and shorts, so these are some of the transactions that did occur on the dark pool today. So very, very active as usual. You do see a couple big ones near the tail end. That's 11.9 million and several other ones right here. So of course, as I've signaled in the past, dark pool is linked to institutions or larger institutions as well as shorting. So shorting, let's talk on that for a second. So yesterday they completely, I don't know, they were dumb. They just increased. I'm not really sure why. But today they continued their stupidness, increased 1.87 million shares. 19.56% of the free float is being shorted. And that works out to be 178.56 million shares overall are being shorted. Cost of borrow average is 1.76 and utilization is 84.08. So don't ask me why, but they are continuously doubling down on SoFi. So this is, as you can kind of see, early 2022 when it was at its peak, and that was roughly about 20.7%. So we are very close to the all-time high short interest on SoFi. And comparing it from 2022 to the present, and it being at the same short interest, something just doesn't add up. As far as today, there was no SEC filings, no press releases. This one did float around as of yesterday. So good old Jim Cramer and Anthony, and they spoke on that recent note. So the 2029 note, why they actually did that and why it's beneficial. Anthony explained this perfectly. And so I really like his explanation, and maybe I guess my overreaction to that was probably not justified. So my bad on that front. But still, like I said, I think this is key. The fact that Anthony does get in front of audiences and kind of explains why SoFi should be a lot higher. And so he's not as kind of bold as Alex Karp, so CEO of Palantir, saying that shorts are snorting coke or anything like that, but he does put it in a very professional manner, the fact that SoFi should be higher. My own interpretation. And just to give you a quick update on, for instance, Palantir, I'll just give you a good overview as far as what shorts are, because again, the CEO is complaining about Palantir shorts when their short interest is only 4.84%. So SoFi is like 5 times that, crazy stuff. So yeah, definitely it's very interesting. Aside from all of that though, looking at options, you do see right here about $9.26 million in calls being purchased versus 2.52 million in puts. A lot of money is rushing into SoFi through options. Sentiment wise, 45% of all the options being done today were bearish. So it's kind of evenly divided between the bullish and bearishness. And of the call options that are being purchased, you do see a consensus for it to be above 750. So with tomorrow being Friday, just take note that there is roughly about 36,000 at that 750 strike price and then 46 at the 8. So once again, you might have some artificial kind of resistance at that 750. So just take note of that. But moving on though, looking right here with it closing at 744, it is trading between this S3 and this S2. So it didn't really come anywhere close to this S3, which I don't anticipate for the least foreseeable future, but it did unfortunately fail to get above this S2. So going into tomorrow, that'll be a very strong pivot point for it as well. Right above that, you will have that 750 resistance brought on by options. So you kind of have a very tight resistance level right here. So we'll just have to wait and see if the positive momentum does carry forward into tomorrow and if it's able to get above that. And then moving on, looking at the actual chart, it has been really stabilizing and kind of moving in the upward direction. Despite that though, you do see a very nice bullish deviation. So white line above the red as well, it is still considered oversold. So even though SoFi has gone up over the last little bit, the technicals are still rather low and optimistic. So that's kind of a good thing, at least for the foreseeable future. And number of retail investors have been getting in over the last little bit. So overall, technicals are looking fairly good. Institutions buying are definitely a plus. Whatever shorts are doing, they're up to something, but so far they haven't really been able to slow the momentum of SoFi. So hopefully it's able to get above that 740 and 750 mark right here. And then once it gets above that, then it's just going to be a matter of time before it gets over 8, back into the 8s. Let me know your thoughts on SoFi. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up and subscribe. I always greatly appreciate that. And give yourself a shout out if you did buy today, if you sold, or whatever else. So let me know your thoughts. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up. And with that said, appreciate all of you watching.